Hi, students. Today we are going to study English grammar. And in English grammar, what we are going to study today? We are going to study today our continued chapter, which was chapter 11, punctuations. And this is the second part of the video. We will learn today the learn to write. There is one paragraph in your book. You have to read this paragraph first and you have to then answer the following question which is given, which is relevant, or we can say related to the chapter. Read the following passage and answer the questions that follow. Okay, so I'm going to read the passage first. You have to listen carefully and I'm going to explain it, and you have to listen it very carefully. So only after listening that carefully you can able to do the answers. So I'm begin with the reading. Once upon a time, there was a king who lived in a palace on the bank of a river. Once upon a time, there was a king who lived in a palace on the bank of the river. He was not a happy king because his people were very lazy. I'm going to repeat the paragraph one more time. Once upon a time, there was a king who lived in a palace on the bank of a river. He was not a happy king because his people were very lazy. Next is his coach. He saw stones and rubbish lying on the roads. Every time he sailed in his boat, he found the river very dirty. The king wanted to teach them a lesson. Then, one night, he took a bag of gold with him and went to the main road. His minister also was there with him. The king put the bag of gold in a pit in the middle of the road. Then he and his minister rolled a big stone over the pit. Then the king and his minister disguised themselves and waited and watched to see what his subjects did. I'm going to repeat it again. One night, he took a bag of gold with him and went to the main road. His minister also was there with him. The king put the bag of gold in a pit in the middle of the road. Then he and his minister rolled a big stone over the pit. Then the king and his minister disguised themselves and waited and watched to see what his subjects did. Then one man came along the road with good full of coal. He was not worried about the stone. He drove his car round the left side of the stone. One man came along the road with a good full of the coal. He was not worried about the stone. He drove his car round the left side of the stone. Then a second man came along with the flock of sheep and goats. He drove his cart round the right side of the road. Many other people passed along the same road, but all of them were so lazy that they did not put the stone away. So the king called his people, took off his cloak and said, "Come, remove your coats. Let us put the stone away." When they rolled the stone away, they saw the gold. They rubbed their eyes with surprise. Turning to the people, the king said, "The gold was there. The gold was there." Sorry for the mistake. Here is a gold. It's G. The gold was there, but you were too lazy to remove the stone, so I shall keep the gold for myself. he asked for his minister to carry the gold to his palace. So, with this, what you had studied, with this story, with this paragraph, what we had studied, there is a king who was worried about the lazy people of his kingdom. So one day what he did, he put a gold in a pit and tell his minister to disguise, that means to hide themselves. And then one person goes there and he did not took off that stone over the pit. He just crossed the stone by the side, and then another man came again. He had done same. He did not roll that stone between from the road and went to the another side. So then the king came out and said his ministers to take off his coat and rolled that stone from the road. And when they rolled the stone from the road, there was a pit and there was so much gold inside that pit. So all the peoples who passed out from there, and all the persons of his kingdom was very surprised by seeing the gold. Then the king told them, you are so lazy, that is why you didn't saw that gold. If you rolled that stones over the road, then this gold will be yours. Now it's mine and I'll take it to the kingdom. So they understand the lesson what king wants to teach them. Okay, so this was the story, and now with this story you have to tell the answers of the following questions. So the first question is mark question for these answers. Begin the question with the word given in the brackets. Here is one sentence given, and at the last there is given one word in the bracket. You have to make the question with this. First is the king lived in a palace near the river. The king lived in the palace near the river. So answer is, where were the king lived? Where were the king lived? Question mark. We have to make the question with the word where. So make the question, where were the king lived? Where were the king lived? Then the second question. The king saw stones and rubbish on the road every time he went out in his coach. You have to make the question with the word when. So the answer should be, when did the king saw stones and rubbish on the road? When did the king saw the stones and the rubbish on the road? Then question mark. When did the king saw stones and rubbish on the road? Next question is, he wanted to teach them, and the question word is what. So the answer is, what did he want? What did he want? So the answer should be, he wanted to teach them. So what did he want? What did he want? Then the next is, he put a bag of gold in a pit in the middle of the road. So the question you have to make with the word where. Where did he put a bag of gold? Where did he put a bag of gold? Where did he put a bag of gold? Question mark. Then the next, the king and the minister, this is not rolled, this is rolled. Roll a big stone over the pit. You have to make the question with the who. Who rolled the stone over the pit? Who rolled the stone over the pit? Question mark. Then one man drove his cart round the left side of the road. One man drove his cart round the left side of the road. You have to make the question with the how. How did the man drive his cart? How did the man drive his cart? How did the man drive his cart? Question mark. Then question number 2. Below are some adjectives describing words. Fill in the blanks with the suitable nouns. You have to write the adjectives for these. You have to write the nouns for these given or adjectives. Okay. So first adjective is a happy man. Next is a clean room. C is a main road. man, ROOM, room, ROAD, road. Then the D1 is a dirty shirt, SHIRT, shirt. A lazy dog, DOG, dog. A big house, HOUSE, house. First one is man, then room, then road, then shirt, then dog, then house. Now the question number 3. Below are the some words given. Find their opposites from the passage. You have to find out the opposite. That means antonyms from the passage of these given words. First is in. The opposite would be out. It is from the passage. Out. Lost. Found. Day. Night. OUT out. FOUND found. NIGHT night. Next is learn. Next is learn. Answer would be TEACH, teach. TEACH, teach. Next is pull. Answer is push. PUSH, push. PUSH, push. Next word is right. Answer is wrong. WRONG, wrong. WRONG, wrong. Next is answered. So the answer is questioned. QUESTIONED, questioned. QUESTIONED, questioned. Next is active. Answer is lazy. LAZY, lazy. LAZY, lazy. So this is all about the book work of the chapter 11, punctuations. Okay, so do this work in a very neat and clean handwriting in your notebooks and study well at your homes.